Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal Sanchez.
Hi, my name is Desiree.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Trio Connect, the podcast where we host Desiree, Kemora, and I. Today, we're diving into something that could literally change your career networking. If you could have coffee with any famous person, who would it be? Mine would be Raul Alejandro because I think it would be fascinating to hear his perspective on building connections.
If I could sit down with any famous person and have coffee with them, it would definitely have to be Mariah Carey. And I know that probably sounds odd, but I, ever since I can remember, I have just admired her as an artist and how she has spanned through several decades in her career.
We're going to dive into why networking is a total game changer, especially for us students at ECC. First, let's kick things off by busting some myths. A big one is that networking is only for business majors, which is totally not true. No matter what you're studying, knowing how to connect with people can open up great opportunities. Another misconception is that you have to be super outgoing to be good at it. Seriously, it's more about being genuine and interested in others. And let's be clear, networking isn't just about asking for favors, it's about building real relationships. Think of it as making friends who can also help you grow. So why bother networking? Well, get this. 70 to 80% of jobs are never even posted online. They're filled through referrals. Networking has helped me so much. Like I had no idea what I wanted to do after graduation, but I spoke with my college advisor who helped guide my career path. Networking can lead to internships and even scholarships, just the same way it helped me. Studies show that people with strong networks have significantly more career opportunities. It's all about who you know, and more importantly, who knows you. So start building those connections.
Welcome you to this networking podcast. In of the podcast, I will be talking with you about how to network without feeling weird about it. So hopefully you stay through the whole thing. Thank you for joining us for this podcast on networking. How do we network? Where do you start? Who do you talk to? Where do you go? Those are the types of questions people often wonder about when it is time to start networking. So, when you think of it for your career, and if you're in school, your professors can be very helpful. Your classmates can also be helpful because you'll never know in the future who you made those connections with in class if you're going to need that connection when you're working in your field. In different student organizations, you just meet up with different people from different walks of life, and you never know what they're doing may help you in the avenue up to where you're going. So it doesn't matter what field you're going into, if you just ask those questions to those individuals, as in, oh, what are your future plans? How do you feel like you're going to achieve those goals? They may have something that you can use for your goals and your steps to achieve what you need to achieve. Also, I understand getting out there may be hard, and it can be very intimidating. The first step is to get out there. You go to the socials, go meet up with classmates, study groups. Any of those things can definitely help you. Internships within jobs, those can be very helpful as well. There are so many people in higher up positions that can lead you in different directions to help you stay on track for what you want to achieve in your life. Great opportunities can come from meeting the right person in a scenario where you never thought you would be able to talk to someone. Every interaction that you have, you can weed out what will be beneficial for you. Also, just keep things tucked in. That way, if it comes to your remembrance, you can be like, oh, okay, that can work. I can reach out to this person and they can help me since they were able to achieve X, Y, and Z. Conversation starters can seem forced if you're not sure how to actually network. So, like I said, the icebreakers What fields are you in? Have you always wanted to go in this field? If you have not chosen this field, what would you like to do? Some of those questions, or you can even just get to know them a little better. Hey, introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Desiree. What's your name? What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Things like that to lead you into the talking about, what can help you in your future. And be curious about what they're into. Definitely be active listeners and active engagers and active responding. Um, we sometimes want to go inward when it seems like, oh, this is way out of my comfort zone. And while that may be, sometimes you may need to take a break, take a step back, take a break. It is hard to mingle and interact, and sometimes things can get overwhelming. But part of networking is, you take that step back and you think about all of the information that you've received from the people that you have been talking to, and you just kind of compartmentalize and internalize and break things down for yourself. Take that breather, take that minute, and then get back out there and go talk to new people, or circle back to the same people if they were that interesting for you. Stay in that circle, or if you want to venture out to another circle. And your campus events at school, they could really be helpful for you. You never know who you're gonna cross paths with. um, Career fairs, whatever field you want to go into, definitely talk to those people. They could definitely help you with all the networking opportunities that you could ever imagine. Read your emails, sign up for events, show up for events. It could definitely provide you with the resources you need for your future. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down on this podcast about networking. We definitely hope you gain some insight on what networking is, how to network, and where to start, all of those things. I just hope that what I said to you about starting to network, I hope it eases some things for you. This actually helped me with my networking. So hopefully, when you go out there, that shyness won't be there so much. Remember, it's about building those relationships. Take that first step. Again, thank you for joining us. We are so happy to give you our insight from what we have learned for this networking podcast. Bye.
The right conversation with the right person at the right time can completely change your future. Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about something that has completely changed the way I see opportunities. The power of networking. When most of us hear the word networking, we think of business cards, awkward small talk, or adding people on Snapchat. But networking is really about building relationships, and those relationships can open doors you didn't even know existed. I used to think networking was just for grown-ups in suits. But that changed when I started talking to people outside of my usual circle. Last year, I went to a school career night just because my teacher told me to. I didn't even want to go. But I ended up meeting a guest speaker who worked in marketing. We stayed in touch. A few months later, she let me shadow her at her job for a day. That one conversation gave me an experience I never would have had otherwise. The power of networking. Here's the thing. Networking isn't just about meeting people. It's about staying in touch. After that career night, I didn't just add the speaker on LinkedIn and forget about her. I followed up with a short message thanking her for talking with me. And I even sent her an email later on to tell her what I learned from my experience. Staying connected doesn't have to be complicated. A quick check-in email, a comment on someone's post, or a simple "how have you been" can go a long way. But there are also networking mistakes to avoid. One mistake is only reaching out when you need something. People can tell when you're only talking to them because you want a favor. And it doesn't feel good. Another mistake is being too pushy or formal. Networking should feel natural, like a conversation, not like you're reading from a script. And finally, do the research before you reach out. If someone posts about a project they just finished, mention it when you message them. It shows you care. If I could go back, I would have started networking a little earlier. I used to think I had to have everything figured out before I talked to people. But I've learned it's okay to ask questions. People actually like helping students because they remember what it was like to be in our shoes. Here's a quick story. Last month, I messaged a college student who had an internship I was interested in. I thought they'd ignore me, but they wrote back with tips on how to apply and even sent me a sample resume. It reminded me that networking doesn't just connect you to opportunities. It connects you to advice, support, and encouragement. So let's bring it all together. Networking isn't just about asking for favors. It's about building relationships that last. It's about staying connected, supporting others, and letting others support you. Here's my challenge for you. Think of one person you could reach out to this week, grow your network. It could become your teacher, an old classmate you don't usually talk to, or maybe a family member. Maybe someone you miss, or maybe someone that works at a gym you're interested in joining. That one conversation or text could go and lead to something bigger. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you take that step this week. Bye.